There's 9 changes to the starting lineup from the USA defeat. Most notably, Tom Hydra is in at fly half. He's going to be partner Nick Dorenball. And also, they're going to have Tobias Nota in the centre. Obiang Nguema, June Karsten, Cassie. A little bit of changes with Nguema coming in. And Horace Smith at number 8 moves across after a hat-trick in the opening game. Kenya, they've made 4 changes to the starting lineup. 3 of them come in the forwards. Brian Huya, Gaylord Ngassi, and also Nathan Sindole. They come into the forwards. But the only change in the back is Alvin Cavoli, and it's a similar half-back pairing of Wainena and also Sakiti. And it's going to be the Dutch to get us underway here. The referee, Lex Weiner, ready, hands on hips, ready for this game to get underway. And it's certainly going to be active in the stands. Kenyan supporters just in front of me, already in fine voice as we're underway here, and it's a left-footed kick from Elon Vassen to get us underway. Well gathered by the Kenyans, and kicked Tanui as a first 40 out of his own 22, but he's been met with some stern Dutch defence. So it's an early opportunity for the Netherlands. Goose Henks has been brought down, the driving maul now.
Down Barnes, play the ball.
It's been dropped by the Dutch, so Tobias Nota, he knows one way, and that's forward, and he manages to puncture through the Kenyan defence initially. Coming around the corner as Henks offering up his hand for some support. Dorenball able to just ghost the ball in front of the path of Dupree, but Kenya defend well, which was a similar trend in their game against Uruguay. But they're going to start this game with a scrum in front of their own posts. As the rest of the Dutch squad are barely a minute old, not even been able to watch the first minute of the game, hastily getting to their seats. Wainena, the Kenyan scrum half.
Fine.
Him and his half-back partner retaining their places. Sekiti is actually under 19 as well.
Can you use it?
Wainena travels with the ball in hand. Kenya want to try and kick it downfield, and now Vassen has got a chance to watch this drop from the sky. Gives it to Dorenball, then into the hands of Moluk, who starts this game. Dorenball stoops down and looks to try and find a runner, and there's a powerful runner in the form of Tunison. The Dutch are very structured in their approach, a carry forward by Tune Karst. He scored in the game against the USA, and now the Dutch are through, and Dorenball is weaving his way in for an opening score here, and it's an electric start from the Netherlands. The players celebrating with their scrum half, and it's an explosive start from the Netherlands. Their first outing in the trophy, and they run USA close, and Dorenball just tiptoeing his way to the try line. Just been able to skip out a couple of challenges, and Olela just not able to get across for Kenya in time. It was a very proud moment for the Stade Toulousain scrum half. Open score for the Netherlands. And the conversion from Vassen is successful, and it's a brilliant start for the Netherlands.
Ted, make sure they're behind you, please.
Place Warwick Jones in the starting lineup for this game. Dorenball is certainly justified the inclusion in this fixture. So Kenya get played back underway. It's Sekiti, a right-footed kick downfield.
Step here, Green.
And you'll notice in this game, not a lot of teams will go deep in towards the 22. Where one of the trial laws, you're allowed to mark it off of the restart. And watching underneath this was Sindole, but it's been stripped by the Dutch, and again they're charging their way towards the try line, and they're going to go in for a quick-fire double. Then it's Kees de Bruin with the try. And the Netherlands are starting to look at home in this competition. Managed to get here by beating Belgium, and they're leaving their impression on this Kenyan side, being able to wheel away. Tom Moluk offloading to his outside centre, Keys de Bruin, another player who's starting for the first time in this competition. So the left-footed Vassen, final deep breath as he tries to keep hold of his 100% record. Approaching the 5-minute mark. The fullback's got a chance to add an additional 2 points. Straight through it, confident, turned round quickly, but it's just went to the wrong side of the uprights. And
15. Just be careful. You were at 3 seconds last time. Yeah.
you know, the referee as well explaining to Elon Vassen they only had 3 seconds, so as soon as the try is scored, kickers have a minute to take their conversion. So as soon as that ball's down there,
can we change his boot, please?
The clock starts, and that's what the match official in this World Rugby Under-20 trophy was saying to the Dutch fullback. There's some running repairs coming to the pitch for Kenya. And their captain, Andy Cole Omolo, has taken over from the captaincy as Omakulu gets a hand with his boots. It's always difficult to try and predict what footwear to use in this artificial surface, but it's a great resource that Scottish Rugby have, able to host this whole tournament in the one location, one pitch. 4 action-packed days of World Rugby Under-20 trophy action here at Hive Stadium. A brilliant try by the second row. And we're back underway. And Kenya will try and steady the ship here. There's the carry forward from Tuncast. Again, has been met with some stern defence from the Kenyans. Vassen arrows his way towards the ground.
Step green.
Kenya not enjoying
9, use it.
any possession so far. Dorenball been asked to act quickly at the base of that ruck. Watched all the way. Kenya just not able to gather the ball cleanly enough. And it's just been fumbled. And it's unfortunate from the Kenyans. Just not able to keep an eye on that ball. And it gives possession and territory to the Netherlands further up the field. And compounds what has been a pretty sobering opening 6.5 minutes here for the Kenyans.
Crouch. Bind.
Sunison flanks the side of the scrum for the Dutch, starting this game as well. One of the changes. Plays for Argent. Dorenball to Tobias Nota. He now goes it back in field, linking up, but it's been turned over into the hands of Wamala. Kenya win the penalty when it looked like Obiang Nguema was about to charge downfield. It's been brought back for a Kenyan penalty. And it's a sizable effort downfield from the fly half. Jackson Sikiti. And it just does take play directly in front of the commentary position here.
Let's get the mark first and I'll bring them in. Is that, I'll deal with them, you guys have to come to the mark first.
On the opposite side of, we had our first throw in for Brian Huya. And it's been contested in the air and it's came back. A big Dutch hand. As Ulo charged out of the Kenyan defence to try and put pressure on the Dutch, so they get a chance to steady the ship. Tom Hidra had to act as an auxiliary scrum half there. Was in contact. The Kenyans rise with the ball in hand, but it's just dropped down the chest there of Gaylord Ngasi. So the Netherlands through Tobias Nota.
Advantage over.
It's been spiralled and sclaffed downfield, but it's bounced up well for James Oliva. And he returns it downfield, but again, the Dutch pressure. Very smart game management from the Netherlands. It's going to result in a throw into the line out.
Superb, Rudy.
Lela just could not deal clean with that bouncing ball. So Goose Hanks throws into the line out again. Towards the front this time. Brought down. And then that driving maul starts making its way. Hanks has to splinter and go it alone. He bounces off one challenge. But Kenya hold firm.
Step back, Green.
Bounces off his right foot back inside.
Step.
Doran ball stoops down again, looks to try and find a runner, and I think he's found Cassie this time.
Advantage.
The Netherlands got a free ball to play with. Now Doran ball. He's able to find Tobias Nota, and he tries to arrow his way towards the Kenyan line.
Short, no, short.
They'll reset, they'll go again.
Held up.
And the match official
Going back to the offside.
in a very good position to see that was not grounded.
Split second, I thought they were going out wide and showing that.
Offside.
I should have done it.
A free ball to play with there for the Netherlands. This will be an interesting decision.
Offside.
Should have done it.
Ido Kuta was the player infringing.
Shot called.
And after an impressive start, the Dutch are going for the penalty. And I think that perhaps does signal
Sure.
how aware they are of the Kenyan threat.
Sure.
Shot clock in operation here as well. Varson is not going to need it. A quick glance to see how much time he's got left. He's still had 35 seconds. But he's successful with the penalty. And he takes it to 15 points to nil. This is a big game for both these sides, perhaps the Netherlands more so. They're going to a final game against Uruguay. And you'll see there, a good example.
Back 10, Green, back.
From calling the mark from the restart. Tom Hydra, the player this time, just calling the mark. So it's to try and promote fast flow in rugby. He's perhaps not caught that the way he wanted it. But it's an interesting lock. It does afford an attacking opportunity now for Kenya. You get a sizable kick downfield, you can relieve the pressure, but if you're not accurate, it could potentially give you a bit of a defensive headache. The Netherlands with all their line-out options, one of them there, Clay Tunison, was able to flap the ball back, which gives Tune Karst a chance to carry it downfield. Doran ball tries to get his studs in the ball and drag it back. He goes for the air. Chasing this one down is Kip Temple, the Dutch captain, and he puts a bit of pressure on his opposite captain, his leader, Omolo. So they knock on, and the Netherlands playing a smart game, just being able to nibble away at territory, force errors from this Kenyan side. In this early evening sunshine in Edinburgh.
More stability.
As Lulok Huya and Gassi aim to lock horns with O'Nolan Hanks. Obang and Nguema.
Bind.
What's the scrum half at this scrum?
Set.
Another trial is going to follow them round now. The offside line is by the tunnel. You see the penalty there. Not allowed to play the 9.
Offside.
I've seen 9s all around the world now just wincing at the new trial. Not able to be a nuisance behind that scrum. So 9s can't be played while the ball is still near a tackle, a ruck or a maul. The offside line at the scrum for the non-putting in scrum half will be in the middle of the tunnel. So it's to try and play cleaner play and keep the ball in flow for longer. Hanks again, throws towards the tail this time, well gathered by an outstretched Dutch arm. turning and twisting after Cassie gathered well. But Kenya just able to cause enough confusion in there to force the knock-on from this Dutch side after a lung-busting start. There's been a bit of a lull over the last 5 minutes between these two sides. But that back five from the Netherlands, Karst, Cassie, Tunison, Dupree and Smit are
Bind.
an impressive
Set.
group of ball carrying forwards, skillful as well. As from the scrum, the Kenyans drop the anchor, the nudge starts to come on from the Dutch, but pulling away at the back was Winyanya. And he done well. He's put himself in a position to kick downfield in the scrum half. Play towards the halfway line now. Ahmed O'Nolan coming to have a conversation with Hanks. Explain the repertoire at this line out. Goes to the middle. Again, good accurate throw in from the young Dutch hooker.
Advantage.
And the maul is
8 for the side.
proven to be very fruitful. The advantage coming on for the Netherlands as well.
8 Kenya for the side.
But Kuta was the player who's been penalised for
the side.
Kenya in the side of the driving maul. With this comfortable 15-point cushion, knowing that it's more than 2 converted scores, Netherlands now have an opportunity to try and nudge it into the corner. And if we're looking to form this cohesive maul, well, Nolan again having a conversation with Hanks. Front, brought down, protected well. It's driving straight. It's driving over the Kenyan forwards who are trying to bring it down. The advantage coming for the Dutch, but they might not need it. The Kenyan maul starting to crumble. Stop short, and the referee perhaps going to have a little chat.
5. Flap small and playing the ball on the floor. Cynical.
And it's actually going to be a yellow card for Homokulu for collapsing that maul. And it gives the Dutch.
Andy, we need discipline in this area of the field, please, on the maul defense. Thank you.
Gives the Dutch a chance to kick downfield as the referee has a conversation with Andy Kolomolo.
Time on.
Hanks towards the front again, a little bit of movement. It loads towards that left-hand side, and the Dutch maul twists and weaves its way over the line. And it looks like it's another try for Horace Smit. The Dutch number 8, a familiar sight, seeing him rise off the ground with the ball in hand after scoring a try. A hat-trick in the opening game versus the USA.
I'm good, thanks.
And you can watch here, look at the Dutch load that left-hand side, target that weak area of the Kenyans. And Horace Smit didn't need to filter the ball through that maul, was just able to travel with his teammates. Great angle of that attacking phase from the Dutch. Now Vassen from the touchline. Low trajectory towards the uprights, and it's faded its way between the posts. And it's a successful conversion attempt from the fullback. And you can see confirmation there that Omokulu is going to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. And it's a lonely, lonely place down there. Minutes to gather his thoughts and wait to get back into action, as Netherlands have enjoyed the opening 14 minutes of this 80 minutes of this game. with a lion's share of possession.
Good contest, play the ball. It was a good contest, but knocked on.
Again, great endeavour from the Kenyans. Just knocking the ball on, trying to fight on the floor from some Dutch pressure at the breakdown. Tindole is the player.
Crouch.
Guilty of knocking on there.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Doran ball feeds the scrum.
Here. Use it now.
Tobias Nota acting as a link this time. Vassen ghosts his way through a couple of Kenyan challenges. A clear out comes from the Dutch as well, but the referee stating there was a croc roll there as well. Now that's a global law that you'll see in all the games. You can no longer roll and twist another player in the tackle area.
Shot called.
Traditionally called the croc roll. And it will be sanctioned by a penalty. There's different ways, but you're not allowed to wrap and twist away from contact. The danger that can put on opponents' bodies. It's been an area that's been well refed and managed by these match officials in the trophy. No benefit of having a TMO or support externally off the field of play. From the penalty, Kenya opt to go for the posts. Olela, the fullback. Right-footed swing at the ball from the 10-metre line, and Olela gets the first points for Kenya in this game. And it came from that penalty there. And the noise ramps up a little. That crow drowned out by the Kenyan fans in front of me here.
Netherlands right there, please.
See from the restart again. Kenya calling the mark. Hack downfield. Doran ball, which is it all the way. Can filter it back into Tune Cast, who is fancying a little trudge upfield. He brushes through a couple of challenges, bowls over another, offloads to Smith, the most recent Dutch try scorer. And the Netherlands want to reply straight away. It's a huge pass out to the flank, and waiting there is captain Kit Temperley for the Dutch. Great awareness from Tom Hidra. The fly half into this starting lineup. And Kit Temperley, the Loughborough student. Delicious pass. Just cut out absolutely everybody on the field of play apart from Kit Temperley. And a pump in the left wrist. Means that the Dutch reply straight away. Great angle over this conversion attempt. The challenge that awaits Vassen, the Dutch fullback. And he's just pulled that towards the left hand side. And a little shake of the head. He's had an eventful start, not just from the boot, but the ball in hand as well, as Temperley finished off this attempt for his side. Captain of the Dutch side in this first outing in the World Rugby Under-20 trophy. And defeating the opening game against USA. They made an excellent account of themselves and were continuing that impression in this fixture. Centre field,
Taken back.
gathered by Smith. And carried
Tackle
forward.
now.
Doran ball
Push
was
here, Kenya.
brought into contact, so it means that Tom Hydra has to go in and act as the auxiliary scrum half. On hand there was Tim
9, use
Cast
it.
to truck it forward. Relieve a bit of the pressure for the Dutch as Doran ball then goes to the sky. Watched all the way, well gathered by Olela.
Tackle.
Driven back in contact by the Dutch fly half. Sikiti spots some space in behind and just curves it downfield. And that bobbling ball, that funny shaped ball, took a good bounce for that man there. Patrick Winina, the scrum half. Brought down to them all. Again, accurate there from defence. And he's deployed and clattered by Tindoli. And then a powerful carry and an offload back in field that's almost going to bounce up for the Kenyans, but Obiang Nguema was there on hand. And it did look like that was going to be an opportunity for the Kenyans. They're not holding back in defence, but they're finding the pace and the power and the tempo from this
Kenya,
Dutch side a bit difficult to deal with in this opening game.
Time off.
Going to be some running repairs. It does look like there's an injury there to Ahmed O'Nolan. Damage to that left shoulder of his. And he's a player that certainly got a very high skill set, as we await the re-arrival of Omokulu as well, the number 5 for Kenya, limbering up on the sidelines,
Netherlands, go please.
ready to get back on. And
Kenya,
he's
let's go please.
a very impressive looking individual,
Here.
very imposing,
Time back on.
and Kenya will have missed his presence on the field for the last 10 minutes. And Ahmed O'Nolan,
Crouch.
a bit of attention from the Dutch medical team, and
Bind.
he's ready to test that shoulder now.
Set.
Holding on. Wainina as well to scoop the ball. As Cavoli now has his first real foray with the ball in hand. And the Tauren Omolo goes forward. Half-backs linking up for the Kenyans. Olela into the line trying to get a teammate free. Great offload there from Mamela. Kenya now, the 9's been played
Advantage,
there.
knock on.
Referee signal. Knock on. So Smith is tasked with
Use it, 9.
setting up the platform to allow the Dutch to launch another attack downfield. Controlling this
9,
game
use it.
and playing some mature and assured rugby.
Advantage over.
Doran ball goes to the sky. A couple of Kenyan players waiting underneath it. Itali was the player who barked the loudest. But the Kenyans are isolated at that breakdown. And Horace Smith, again in the thick of the action for the Dutch. Nederlands RC is
On
his
the 5.
current club. Just under 100 kilograms. He's a very imposing figure himself as well.
Thank you.
But in the few showings I've seen of him so
Time
far,
off.
as we see
Yellow card back on.
Omokulu come back onto the field of play.
Ball's already lifted, he took a step away.
Horace Smith is
Stand back on, discipline please.
an impressive young rugby player for this Dutch side. Goes Hanks,
No
throws in,
contest.
being brought down. Had the referee shout no contest, and it's opened up almost in front of the Dutch. The Kenyan defence having to now dig in and hold firm to try and repel this Dutch onslaught.
Clearly a double movement, tackled, then went forward.
Here the referee
Had the opportunity to place, second movement forward.
explaining the double movement in there, which has led to a Kenyan penalty. He also mentioned not contested at the line out, which might be a bit of a new call for people just tuning in. So from a line out, if it's a squint throw and it's not contested, then it's play on. But you can see here the double movement brought to ground and then charging forward. The referee on the
Please step
spot
off the gap. Open up. Thank you.
to see that passage as Huya waits ready to get the ball back in. The referee having to sort the line out, the gap between the two sides. And the Dutch are all over this Kenyan line out. Hanks now charges, steals a couple of yards as well with a quick crawl, places the ball back. His
Good
teammates
turnover,
round the
first
corner.
man.
And that's great play by Tindoli in the number 6 jersey for Kenya. Able to get his
Don't
hand
move
in there.
front, Green, don't move, stop!
Swung downfield by the Kenyans, counter-attack coming back on. Molouk now thinks he spots some space, tries to fling the ball back in field.
Touch.
Well gathered there by
Guys, who's
Gabriel
in touch?
Cassie.
Green 4, advancing in front of the kick. Green 4, advancing in front.
So Eugene Itali been penalised for not retreating, essentially. It's another one of the laws. So players are deemed offside when an opposition player catches the ball and runs 5 metres or passes the ball. Offside players must now make an attempt to retreat to be put back onside. Centre of the line out, Gabriel Cassie gathers, and then the Dutch go towards that line yet again. And surprise, surprise, Horace Smith is the player who gets the try. The talisman, number 8, for this Dutch side, doubles his tally. Well gathered by Cassie, came down, and in the centre, the nucleus of that drive and maul, was the Dutch number 8. That ball again not needing to filter through. And it was a potent weapon up front for that Dutch side. Vasson with another challenging attempt. Easy as you like from the fullback. He curls that one in. A couple of seconds left on that timer. And it came from this. A well orchestrated, well worked drive and maul. And he's in another action-packed game here in the trophy. So we're making an announcement in Dutch colours.
Time off, 11 green, sub.
It's going to be a replacement for Kenya. It does look like Kiptanui is going to be coming off. Butemi is the player who's going to be replacing him. So an early replacement from the Kenyans. Going to see Muteni make his way towards that left-hand side. Words of encouragement also filtered to his teammates. It's launched downfield just in the 22. Vasson, inches to spare, able to call the mark from the restart. Vasson returns it downfield. And Michael Todd on this, the side where most of the spectators are here on a glorious sunny Sunday evening in the capital of Scotland. They're situated. Can you get it back into play? Twist out of trouble from Gassi there. And as much as the Kenyans have been physical and combative in the defensive sets, so have the Dutch, who have been impressive with the ball in hand. Temple, he's got a try in this game so far. They've enjoyed much possession in the opening game against the USA, but starting to be more prominent in this fixture. Balanced play by Tune Karst, who's able to get the ball to his fly half. Hydra Dorenbolt trying to get the ball out. That ball is squirmed out of the ruck. You see the communication from the match officials as well. It did just bobble out. The pressure and loose limbs at that breakdown. As O'Leary plays fly half, he's able to get the ball to Okeyo. Kenya now enjoying a period of time with the ball in hand. Another powerful foray forward from the forward pack. Kenyans getting the ball away quickly, and it's opened up in front of them. And he plugged quickly because Ngassi was sizing up a meander down the pitch.
Move in front, don't move!
There's some space that's been plugged by Tom Hydra. Doesn't need any support this time, but he's been well shackled there by Omolo.
Advantage, not
That's
rolling.
Clever play to keep Kuta in there, and it was Horace Smith who was able to do that.
Go away, please.
That was intelligent play from the Dutch, being able just to keep the Kenyan number 8 in that breakdown. Almost impossible to try and escape that ruck that had formed. But what it does is it gives the Dutch a chance to kick downfield, and it's another excellent kick from Elon Fassen. As we approach the final stages in this first half, it's been relatively one-sided. Kenya not really getting an opportunity to enjoy possession of any sorts. And it's an accuracy from the Dutch, perhaps the first real error of this first half. And Kenya then hook it downfield. Kit Temperley gathers, sizes up his options. He goes to try and ghost in between a few Kenyan challenges. Defence holds firm. Tune Karst again, like 120 kilogram forward, carries then Tobias Nota, who's not much of a chance to carry forward. He's a powerful inside centre. Then Gabriel Cassie now, second row partner of Tune Karst, very similar in stature. And again the Kenyans dig in their own 22, able to squeeze the penalty out of the Dutch, and they will be hoping to try and maybe nudge their way upfield a little bit more towards the end of this first half. Put a little bit of pressure on this Dutch side, and also scoreboard pressure as well. Able to find touch. So the Dutch find Tune Karst, and he finds some Kenyan defence. And Dorenball then gives it to Moluk, who's working hard off his wing. Smith now on the 10 metre line, stays upright. He's been joined by Hanks and Nota. Gabriel Cassie bouncing off of his left foot. Junison.
No, leave it off your feet, leave it.
Dorenball again, stooping down, feeding a willing runner. Trying to puncture this defence, and Kit Temperley tries to go shot.
Tackle's made, play. Step here, Kenya.
Temperley has to act as scrum half now.
That's it.
He's able to find Obiang Nguema. He's able to brush off a few challenges. Nobody in behind here for Kenya. They're going to have to work hard to cover the space. Kit Temple is there, trying to be the benefactor of the bouncing ball. Sikiti for Kenya managed to get back.
Use it, Green!
Another few minutes remaining. Kenya will not want to be camped by their own goal line. Not able to get it off the field of play, so Vassin keeps it alive into the hands of Chun Karst. Distributes into the hands of De Bruyne. Then De Bruyne now is through. The Kenyan defence scrambling across. It's going to leave space.
Advantage.
Someone else. Chun Karst is able to find his fly half Hydra. He's able to get the free arm.
Easy.
To offload to a teammate.
6. Never back on side.
Sindoli, the player who's been adjudged to have been offside in that passage of play.
Time off. 15 bucks right there.
As Hydra is requiring a bit of medical attention. Perhaps needing to get a bit of air back in those lungs.
Sure.
The defence at this level has been highly impressive throughout all the games that I've been lucky enough to watch.
Pull water off, please.
The ball well gathered in the backfield by Sikiti.
You guys want to scrum?
And De Bruyne, another player who's made an impact in this Dutch starting lineup. And this is the moment where the fly half Hydra
Time back on.
perhaps got some of the air knocked out his lungs. But it will be a put into the Dutch.
Crouch.
As the sun starts to drop a little bit lower, the shadows getting a bit
Fine.
longer here in this early evening game.
Set.
And there's still time in this first half for the Dutch to add to their tally. Tobias Nota, direct run in, powerful run in from the inside centre, got short by the Kenyan
Advantage.
defence.
Not rolling first.
Round the corner,
Leave
the
it.
Dutch keep it tight. Pragmatic
Nine back.
approach from this Netherlands side. Link up and again being flung out, and the Kenyans are able to intercept, but with the advantage coming
Offside and not
back.
rolling away.
for the penalty, not rolling away.
Time off.
The referee again
Captain.
will just call a bit of time.
We just had a run of penalties in this area of the field. Discipline has to change. 2 offsides penalties in a row. Please tell them the discipline has to change, otherwise I'll do it. No, that's it. Please pass the word on, that's it. Thank you. No, hold on. Finish. Good.
Firm from referee Viner. He's having a good game, especially with the introduction of all these new trial laws. The match officials here in Edinburgh have been tested in different games, high scoring ones.
Captain, you have an option of location. Get a not rolling penalty right there, then an offside penalty right here. What was that? It's not under the post, it's right in line with the post. Straight. You guys want scrum? No, okay, no, never mind.
Referee
You guys on the line, please.
giving the Netherlands options.
Hold on.
So we're going
No
to play
scrum, no
this
scrum.
next passage of play,
Hold on.
and they're not opting to go for the scrum.
Time on.
Let's see what is in the Dutch repertoire. The front row power forward, and they just bundle over the line. No finesse needed from the Dutch. It's brute force, and Obiang Nguema is the player to get the try. Salutes to the crowd. And it might be a training ground move, but that is just brute force
Yes.
from the 123 kilogram front row. Escorted over the line by his teammate Ahmed O'Nolan. And a few pats in the back as well to suit. Successful conversion as well. Extends the lead here, Vassen. Highly impressive, and a replay of that try. A beat to the chest as well from Obiang Nguema. An impressive score from that young man. And an equally impressive celebration, to be fair. Kenyans up to go short, up towards that 10-metre line. It's maybe going to catch his Dutch, clawed out, but Kip Temperley has gathered the ball. He's weaving his way out of trouble. He's looking for some support. It's just been engulfed by a couple of green shirts and not able to offload the ball. But
number 5, croc roll.
Again, good broken play running, and this time Gabriel Cassie has been penalised. It's a penalty to kick downfield from the Kenyans. They'll be want to try and get some points on the board before we get into half-time in the final game here in Pool B in the World Rugby Under-20 Trophy. 40 minutes remain of day 2's action, plus whatever we've got to play in the remainder of this first half. Kenyan pack directly in front of their very excitable support that's here. And flat forward there by, looked like by the Dutch. The referee calling that Kenya got to it first and working hard round the corner. Italy upright in contact, driven back by Netherlands defence. The ball into some wider channels now, and evasive running Wamala. Ball into the wider channels, not accurate from the fly half, Sikiti.
No 12, back!
So the Kenyans have to retreat. They're repelled yet again by this Dutch defence. Boot to ball there from Wainina.
Tackle! It's a tackle first! Tackle! Leave it!
Wrapped up. I think Hydra has had enough of his first half action, and he's going to stab it off the field of play. It gives him a bit of chance to get some air back in his lungs, and his teammates will welcome it as well. They're under a bit of pressure from this Kenyan side towards the tail end of that first half, but both sides make their way off the field of play.